Recently I did a video on the A-rays and six sisters from the world of nodes. Now I'll explain the liners, who are technically A-rays with some differences and the source of their power, grain, in more detail. Grain, aka space dust, the toxic particles that now fill the earth and nodes, is a sort of power that all evolved humans use. Liners, who wield a crystallized form of it, and A-rays, who absorb it. It makes our modern conventional weapons useless in comparison, changing how warfare plays out. It's also a substance all celestial bodies have, such as planets and those tied to them, like the types, aka ultimate ones. The opposite and enemy of grain is true ether, which was abundant in the Age of Gods, but not in the modern day. In the past, it was a magical source of nature and even the gods themselves. Its technical name is the fifth true theoretical element, the enemy of grain, and ether, aka void, the fifth imaginary factor. Black Barrel, Gun God's conceptual weapon, uses true ether to destroy anything using grain. Liners are humans that adapt to the grain in the environment during the war against the A-rays. They want to rebuild civilization to how it was. Now, I said they are technically A-rays, but what makes them different is a lack of physical changes, and they evolved more naturally, but most lack power. There exists a set of liners called ether liners who can fight and match A-rays in terms of power. Ether liners are special because they took in more grain at birth, developing knight arms from the grain as adults. There exist 78 enlisted knights. Knight arms aren't limited to ether liners. Crimson Moon also has one called Real of the World or True World. The last known and most powerful knight is AdoEdem. At first he didn't stand out, but during the fight against Type Jupiter in the western continent, his arms / Emperor cut it in a single slash, growing to Type Jupiter's size. The artificial sun in Jupiter exploded, burning the continent. Afraid of him, liners and A-rays teamed up, put him in the Witch Swift Umbrella prison in the Great Rift. See my Six Sisters and A-rays video to know more about that. The coming of another ultimate one forced them to release him as a last resort with Type Saturn's arrival. Saturn killed the gun god prior. Edem's fate is currently unknown and will stay a mystery. That's all I got about liners. I hope this was informative. I would recommend watching the Six Sisters video if you haven't already. What do you think of the ether liners and liners? If you've seen my previous video, would you rather be an A-ray or an ether liner? And tell me why in the comments below.